All joined? Inform everyone to join. Only 16 are there. Nishant Golcha. Nishant. Nishant. Nishant Golcha. Talk to me. Unmute your audio is switch on audio and talk to me. Nishant. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Nishant. Nishant. Nitin.
Yes, ma'am.
Call him and tell him to talk to me.
Okay, ma'am.
Only 23. Tell everyone to join fast.
Excuse, ma'am.
Yes.
He is not picking the call, ma'am.
Fine. We'll see later. Only 32. What about the rest? Why others are not joining the class fast? 11:55 class means you have to join at 11:54, not at 12 o'clock or 12:05. You should join. Huh? You need a reminder to join for the class. Every time, every class. Everyone has to remind, join to the class through the calendar like that. Huh? We have given the timetable. You can check the timetable and join, right? That also it is delaying. See, 33 students. Now time is 12:01. Right. What we discussed in the last class, I don't want to waste the time. Those who have joined early will start. Last class we discussed about the calorific value, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What is NCV?
The amount of heat liberated when a unit mass is burned to produce the combustion of. Sorry, ma'am.
What is
Burnt in the
NCV?
air. The amount of
NCV.
Yes, ma'am. NCV.
What is NCV? Expand.
The amount of heat expand, ma'am.
Hmm.
Net calorific value.
Net
Calorific value.
calorific value.
value.
Next. Now you tell the definition.
The amount of heat liberated when a unit mass of volume burnt in completely in air.
Completely in air.
Air.
How it is represented? HCV, how it is represented? Let me call Momin. Momin Rasul. Momin,
Yes, ma'am.
how HCV is being represented?
Ma'am, you mean unit?
Not units.
Joule.
How you have to measure? How you are going to measure HCV?
Mass per unit volume, I think.
No. Not written.
Sorry, ma'am, I don't remember the formula.
You have not written. Because
No, ma'am.
yesterday I have not given time for writing. I thought you will be noting down the point during the explanation. Nobody has written. How many of you have written? How many of you have not written? How many of you have not written the points yesterday class? Raise your hands. At least say frankly that I have not written, madam.
Ma'am, I wrote till BTU and the centigrade of heat. After that, I
After
didn't
that,
get time to write.
you didn't get time to write them.
Actually, the slides were moving so fast. That's all.
Nobody asked also. That is why I just moved. Naveen KR. Naveen KR. Naveen KR. Naveen. West. Mohit. Mohit Goda.
Yes, ma'am.
How you are going to represent, measure higher calorific value?
Ma'am, actually, I was absent for last class, ma'am.
See, I was absent for last class. All these things I don't want to listen. If you are absent for last class, this recorded session will be in the files post session. It will be in the chat history. You have to follow. You have to open and see the record session and come prepare for the class. Don't say that you are absent. Don't give that full type of answers. If you are absent, it is not my responsibility. You should know aware of what has happened in the last class one. It is to everyone I am applying to. It is applying to everyone. You have to take, you have to understand, you have to ask your friends what has been done in the last class and come prepare for the class. Notes is there, the sessions, your recorded sessions will be available there in the chat history. Everything is there. You can see at least you can ask your friends what has happened in the last class. Simply coming and attending the class, no use in empty mind. Clear? Don't say that again that you are absent. You have to answer. See, last class you people didn't write the points. I'll just glance fastly what is been done in the last class. You just write down if any points if you feel like it is important. Yeah. So characteristic is not required. The characteristics of a good fuel, what we have done is characteristics. If the fuel we are saying it is good or bad, it depends on what characteristic properties it has. The characteristic like moderate combustion, ignition, temperature, very fast ignition, very cost and easily available, low cost, cheaply available, and very easy to handle, and it can be easily to store and transport. It should contain a low moisture content and very easily it is available plenty in quantity, should be very large, and it should not leave behind much ash in the at my environment. These are the characteristic properties a good fuel should has. The next is the calorific value. Calorific value is a measurement of value. It is a measure value. The fuel, the total quantity of a heat liberated when 1 unit mass of a quantity. When 1 unit mass of quantity of the fuel is burnt completely on a air. So here you are saying it is the total amount of fuel along with the moisture, along with the air, presence of air and oxygen, it is burnt. The value is being calculated. This calorific value is expressed in terms of calories, and 1 calorie is of around 4.185 joules. And this is in terms of kilocalories also, it will explain. This can be expressed in joules per kg, joules per kg if it is expressed in terms of kilocalories. Understood? So this kilocalories is joules per kg. So there are two types of units. One is British thermal unit and centigrade heat unit. In British thermal unit, it is been defined as the quantity of heat of required to rise the temperature of 1 pound of water through 1 degree of Fahrenheit at 60 degree Fahrenheit to 61 degree. So in British thermal unit, 1 BTU or 1 British thermal unit is equal to 250 calories, that is equal to 0.25 2 kilocalories, or it is also expressed in terms of 1054.6 joules. So you just remember these points. In British thermal unit is expressed in terms of 0.25. This 0.25 to this unit you should remember, and also this 1054.6 joules. This value you should remember in terms of joules. In terms of calories, kilocalories, it is 0.252. In terms of joules, it is 1054 according to British thermal unit. According to centigrade heat unit, it is 1 kilocalories is 3.968 British thermal unit, and which is equal to 2.2 centigrade heat unit. So this, if you remember, it's okay. Otherwise also it's fine. So this calorific value, it is determined on higher calorific value, and it is calculated by, which is also HCV, GCV are not different. HCV, the other name for HCV is gross calorific, GCV. The other name for HCV is GCV. HCV and GCV both are same. The GCV is nothing but gross calorific value. HCV is nothing but higher calorific value. This gross calorific value is represented by, I have written here yesterday, right? The gross calorific value or HCV, which is equal to NCV. NCV is net calorific value plus, what is that? Latent heat of steam or water vapor. By using this equation, you can easily calculate the GCV or HCV. GCV or HCV. So it is explained as what it is. The GCV is nothing but it is the total amount of, here it is the total amount of heat liberated. It is the total amount of heat produced when 1 unit of mass, one unit. How many units are present? How many units are present? That many units when it is quantity. A mass per volume of a fuel has been burnt completely. It is the total amount of heat produced when quantity of a fuel has been burnt completely in air or oxygen, and the products of combustion have been cooled at the room temperature. Easily I can say what is higher calorific value or a gross calorific value means it is the total amount of heat produced by both fuel and also net calorific value than the latent heat of water stream. Altogether, it is, we are measuring its value in terms of kilocalories. So this can be expressed in the equation GCV is equal to NCV plus latent heat of steam. So what is the net calorific value or lower calorific value is, the net calorific value is the amount of heat liberated, that is minus, that is it is the gross calorific value minus heat that is the latent heat. This is the condensation of heat. Condensation of heat is the condensation of heat of water vapor produced. When you subtract these values with the gross calorific value with the GCV, you will end up with NCV. So NCV is the amount of heat liberated only by the fuel. It is calculated only by the fuel by subtracting with the latent heat of vapor, that is 0.09. This latent heat of condensation of water is represented by 0.09 into H. This is the percentage of hydrogen present, and 587, and specific heat of water kilojoules per kg. This is based on the fact that one part of hydrogen by mass gives 587. Here you can see 587 kilocalories per kg, and whatever the heat liberated, it is 4.187 kilojoules per kg. Only thing you have to remember here is, you just remember NCV is nothing but GCV minus latent heat of condensation of water vapor produced. This can be calculated by the equation this. So this equation you can calculate this. This is the equation to calculate NCV. NCV is equal to HCV minus 0.09 into H into 587. So the next is calorific value and its, this is the calorific value and its determination by using a device, bomb calorimeter. So bomb calorimeter is a device used to measure the calorific value of a fuel. So here this is not required. By using bomb calorimeter, what is the principle it is used? The principle of bomb calorimeter is to measure the sample, but to measure the calorific value of a fuel for the known mass, to by known mass of the fuel, how much heat is liberated and what is the least loss of heat lost by burning of the fuel, and what is the calorific value liberated, and what is the calorific value liberated during this calculation, during this burning of the fuel, that is been calculated by the measure data. What is this principle? How this bomb calorimeter is been constructed? So the bomb calorimeter is constructed with a steel tank. The construction part I have not explained yesterday, right? So the construction part you can see here. Here it is a pointer. See, this is the steel tank. Inside this steel tank, can you see red color? I am drawing one line. Is it visible? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೇನ್ರೋ?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Say that it is visible. Okay, I'll write here, no problem. See, first it is been constructed with the steel tank, it is this steel tank.
Ma'am, on whiteboard, nothing is shown, ma'am.
Wait. It is not fast like you and me. Nothing. Now also it is not seen.
No, ma'am.
Now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I told you, no, it is not fast like you and me. It takes some time. You should have some patience. Yes. Now you could see now. Somehow I'll manage. Now you can see See, this is the steel tank, whatever I'm writing. So big. Very difficult. Now,
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
okay. See, how it is constructed is, first we have to take one steel tank which is of diameter. The diameter of this steel tank inside the tank, it might be of 4 meter in diameter and 25, it depends on us, or 25 meter in length. It depends on us, it depends on our design. This diameter and length can be designed by us. Okay, this is the sample keeper, where you have to keep the sample inside this steel tank. So this is a small steel tank which is covered by, where it is contains a sample holder, which is a crucible. Crucible is placed inside the sample and this is covered, and this sample holder is connected to the ignition wire, is connected to the ignition point. Where ignition point is, here it is the terminals which is present negative and positive. It is been connected to the ignition box. So this is the ignition box which helps in igniting the uh, fuel which is taken in the sample holder. And this what happens, this we have to cover with this. And this steel tank is being covered by another one big one, which is usually we call this as a electric bath. This is the bath which contains, this is a bath which contains water, which is filled with water, and this water level, the water level which is you have to measure. So what you have to measure, what you have taken, it is the water equivalent mass what you have taken in the bath solution. It is the electrolytic bath, and this bath is fitted with the mechanical stirrer. Mechanical stirrer is to maintain the uniform temperature throughout the ignition. This is the mechanical stirrer. And this bath, this bomb, which is also fitted with a thermometer, which is also fitted with a thermometer to measure the temperature. So what you have to measure is, take a known quantity. Hence, a bomb calorimeter is used to measure the, which is covered by this steel tank. Altogether is covered by the lid, which is a lid has to be covered. And this mechanical stirrer is connected with the anything. Mechanical stirrer means either manually also we can stir, or it can be connected to a digital stirrer. And thermometer also we can use manually also we can measure, or it has been connected to digital thermometer where it displays the temperature. And these fuel igniters are connected to the ignition box. It helps in igniting the fuel. So first measure, first initially you have to measure how much mass, what is the mass, whether it is a liquid or solid, what is the amount of fuel you have taken in terms of m. Note down that. Say for example, how many grams or how many kgs you have taken. That mass you have to note down in the sample holder. If it is a liquid you are taking, convert the volume into mass, and that mass you have to take in grams or kgs. Usually we'll take in kgs only, we have to take. If it is in grams, convert into kgs and take the mass of the fuel. Note down this. This is how it works. So after, when it comes to the working, what happens? Say we have taken some 1 grams. You have taken 1 kg of the fuel. 1 kg of the fuel I have taken. I have placed in the sample holder. Okay. So once this sample holder, 1 kg of the fuel I have taken with the liquid. Say suppose I have taken the solid fuel. Coal I have taken 1 kg in the sample holder. Okay. Once this is been taken, connect these two, cover this lid, cover this lid also, and note down. So how much you have taken? 1 kg of water. Then note down the initial temperature, that is T1 degree Celsius. You have to note down what is the temperature of this electric bath. And initially you have to note down W1. What is W1? That is nothing but this water equivalent mass of the fuel. That is initially you have to note down these three things: mass, how much you have taken, T1, and also W1. After noting down all these three variables, after that, you start the ignition button. Once it starts the ignition button, what happens? The fuel, whatever you have taken in the fuel holder, that is sample holder, it starts burning. Once it starts burning, what happens? Certain amount of heat is being liberated. Such amount of heat liberated. Once the amount of heat liberated, what happens? Once you start the mechanical stirrer also to continuously to shake, and also wait till the fuel complete oxygen means there is a insert oxygen complete to help. Once the fuel here, it leaves the ash and completely fuel evaporates, completely it liberates the energy, heat energy, it is being like heat is liberated. Now what you have to do is note down W2, note down W2. Why we have to note down W2 means because of whatever the heat liberated because of complete burning of this fuel, whether there is rise in the water level, this water level is there, increase in the water level, or decrease in the water level, will come to know only after burning, complete burning. So once the fuel completely burnt in the sample holder, note down W2 and also note down T2. Note down T2. T2 is what? T2 is the temperature after complete burning of the fuel. Note down the T2 or degree Celsius, and also note down specific heat of the water. What is the specific heat of the water in the electrostatic bath? Once you have noted down all these things, and now you have to calculate. This is the construction and working part of this bomb calorimeter. So exactly the bomb calorimeter looks like this. It is the inside the tank, here the sample holder where you have to place the sample, and it is been ignited, and you have to calculate the how much heat is liberated. So if you have to write the diagram in the exam, this one, next I'll tell. This is the construction part and also working part of the bomb calorimeter. So they'll ask, explain construction, working, and how you are going to measure the what is that calorific value using bomb calorimeter. So these things you have to write. So here, this is the diagram you have to write in the exam, how you have to bomb calorimeter looks like. And next, construction is done. Next, working also done, and calculation. So after noting down all these points, say for example, you have note down the mass, you have note down weight, W you have note down, and W2, W1, W2 are T1 degree Celsius, T2 degree Celsius, and specific heat of water. After that, substitute in this equation. This is the heat absorbed by the equation. Substitute in this equation. This is the equation to calculate, that is the GCV. GCV, how we are going to calculate is by using this equation. GCV is equal to W plus W is small w and capital W is before and after water equivalent mass. S is the specific heat. T2 and T1 is the temperatures, initial temperature and final temperature. T1 is the final, T1 is initial, T2 is the final, M is the mass of the fuel. And NCV, to calculate NCV, GCV minus 0.09 H into 587, 4.187 kilojoules per mole. By using these equation, you have to calculate GCV and NCV. Understood? Understood. In some of the numericals, they may ask calculate HCV and NCV. They may ask calculate HCV and NCV also. But whenever they ask HCV, it is nothing but GCV only. By using this equation only, you have to calculate GCV. If it is they ask NCV, you have to calculate using this second equation. This one. This equation, you are using this equation, you have to calculate the NCV. For HCV, for this one, and for NCV, this equation. Is this clear? Problems will take up at last. You'll do problems now only, or we'll take up last? We'll do one problem. Okay, fast. Decide fast.
Ma'am, at last it will be better, ma'am.
Will you remember all these things? Points till last?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
And we will revise at that time also, so it will be.
It will be easy at last. At last of this module, we'll take a problem. Fine. At last only we will take up. At that time we can revise and it will be easy. Fine. After this bomb calorimeter, calorific value, next comes is knocking of petrol engine. What is knocking? What is petrol? What is knocking? How we are going to represent this knocking? How many of you are here rides the bike very easily? Bike or car? Usually bike. How many of you know riding bike? Hmm? Raise your hands, girls, boys. Usually boys will be very good experts in riding the bikes. Correct? Hmm? How many of you know riding the bike? At least raise your hand. Talk. At least unmute your audios and talk to me. Yes, ma'am, we know. Like that. Nobody knows in your class?
Most of them will know, ma'am.
Most of them will be knowing. Girls also. So I'll tell you what is this, what is the relationship between the vehicles, the bike and this knocking. What is this exactly knocking or a petrol engine? During riding of the bike, when you keep on riding, sometimes what you feel is, sometimes there is a rattling sound rattling sound you can feel. Correct? Rattling sound means some noise will come from the engine. Some suddenly you can feel that sound, some noise in the engine, or some sort of sound, or some sort of sound in the engine, or suddenly the engine will stop. Again, you have to kick start and start. And in suddenly in the hums and brake stoppers, you will feel that jerk type of feeling. Jerk means suddenly it will stop and start. It will not properly, it will not move that vehicles. All these productions, all these sudden stop or sudden starting or some sort of sound or a rattling, all these because of the improper combustion of a fuel. Improper combustion of fuel. The fuel what is being taken, the improperly, if it is combusting, improper combustion of the fuel means properly it is not burning because of the impurities. All these sound or some sort of jerk feeling you will feel. That process is called as knocking. That process is called as knocking. I have shown you the two peaks here. One peak is, this is the normal combustion, and this is called as premature combustion. So here first one you can see, normally as the fuel it is coming here, as the fuel it is coming here, properly it is being combining, properly it is burning. You can see yellow color light here, right? This yellow color, properly uniformly it is burning. But here when it comes here, there is no proper movement of the fuel here, where it is been before fuel falling into the engine, it will start improperly it is combined. There is no uniformity in the burning process. So this not forming uniformity or not properly combustion happening in the IC engine, because this process is called as knocking. So what is exact definition for a knocking is, I'll just erase this. So knocking is an explosive combustion of a fuel. Knocking is an explosive combustion of a fuel or a petrol or a diesel, any petrol or diesel and air mixture in an IC engine produces shock waves when it hits the wall of a cylinder, and piston produces rattling sound known as knocking. Remember this. Definitely there will be a question, what is knocking, and explain its mechanism. Definite question in the exam for 8 marks. So this knocking is nothing but production of a shock wave or production of a rattling sound because of explosive combustion of the fuel in an IC engine. So this is called as knocking. If you want to write down this knocking definition. Write down this. Don't write the diagram how I have written on the whiteboard like that. Write neatly. You have scale and pencil, everything you have. Write using that and write the diagram neatly and label the parts because that carries 3 marks. Don't say, ma'am, it is like that only, ma'am, anta. Exam ali. What? Pushkar.
Yes, ma'am. Getting.
What getting?
We have to make the neat diagram, ma'am.
You have to write like this. Write the definition fast. Write the definition. We'll go for mechanism. What is the time? Is the time up? Yes, time up. So mechanism of this knocking we'll discuss in the next class. Only definition I have explained you today. Knocking, its mechanism is there, which is very important. How this rattling sound you will get for the improper combustion of the fuel. That mechanism you have to follow. Only 4 steps are there, reactions that you have to remember for the mechanism, that we will discuss in the next class. Written this definition, all of you. Again, next, you don't say that no, madam, I didn't get time to write. Omin,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Written.
written.
Yes, ma'am.
Hit. Mohit,
Yes, ma'am.
written.
Yes, ma'am.
Next time I'll ask you only the question. You should be ready for the next class.